The Night of the Hunter, a 1955 movie directed by Charles Laughton, tells the story of Reverend Harry Powell, a serial killer who aims to kill women who seduce men using their sexuality. While in prison, he meets a man by the name of Ben Harper, who reveals that he has hidden $10,000. The Night of the Hunter follows Powell on his obsessive search for the money. The cinematography of the film, or the process of capturing images on film or a digital storage device, drove the plot and helped make this movie the thriller it is. Throughout the film, shadow and lighting play a huge role in portraying the mood and adding tension to key moments. Cinematographer Stanley Cortez says that having a black and white film makes the lighting and shadows important. He is quoted as saying, he believes firmly in the preservation of the historical black and white image. To tamper with it would be sacrilegious, no matter what method is used. This would be tantamount to altering a single note of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, which is unthinkable. In all of Cortez's movies, like The Magnificent Ambersons by Orson Welles, light is an important element that he takes advantage of to portray the plot. Let's talk about how important the use of lighting and shadows in The Night of the Hunter were. Let's start with an early scene. John, the now dead Ben Harper's son, is talking to Uncle Bertie. The lighting during the scene is fairly balanced, and neither character is shrouded in a shadow or in too bright of light. That is, until Bertie tells John that Reverend Powell, who is to marry his mother, knew his father in prison. Even without the music, you can tell that this is shocking news as the room darkens around the two characters. Another scene that heavily relies on how shadows are used and lighting is the scene after Reverend Powell and Willa, John and Pearl's mother, gets married. Willa is excited to no longer be the widow of a condemned murderer and is ready to consummate the new marriage. Harry stands suddenly in disgust, blocking the backlight and completely covering him in a shadow with his... With this moment, it becomes clear that Harry has not been honest with Willa. After he lectures her, he goes to turn off the light, and meanwhile, Willa is shrouded by a shadow, showing her fear through that as well as the low camera angle. The final scene I want to talk about is perhaps the most action-packed, memorable scene of the movie. The children have found sanctuary with the motherly figure Rachel Cooper. Reverend Powell has found out where the children and the $10,000 are. Night has fallen, and he has returned as he promised. Shadows on the walls can be seen throughout the scene, strengthening the suspense. The scene cuts to Rachel sitting in a rocking chair with a shotgun. Around her is well lit, and you can see Powell through the screen on the window, waiting outside. When one of the children walks in with a candle, Rachel is illuminated, but suddenly Powell is gone, when Rachel quickly blows the candle out. As she creeps across the cellar, shadows play on the walls around her, still increasing the suspense. She knows Powell is in the house, but she doesn't know where. Suddenly, Powell pops up from inside the house, relieving the suspense. Laughton proclaims The Night of the Hunter is a nightmarish sort of Mother Goose tale. To drive this idea, he used black and white cinematography and took advantage of the shadows expressed more with this type of film. He chose a cinematographer with the same appreciation for lighting and shadows created by black and white. The story is elegantly told so that it pays tribute to silent film by use of these cinematography features and helps to make it a timely classic.